Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to sorry, excuse me. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another of my live videos, and a lot of stuff. Frantically, people. If you're watching, a lot more things as updated on numerous reports on a certain amount of things. There's a lot of things that I've literally updated, but it's hard to keep up with it all. So I report as much as I can, so if you're all aware of that, then just please be aware that I can only report on what I can day by day. We always do like at least 3 or 4 videos a day anyway to notify you what's going on anywhere. Let's get on to the breaking news. Anyways, is regarding Antoine Griezmann now. Apparently, it could be back on now regarding Antoine Griezmann. We know he's had discussions with Diego Simeone, and I think with the club Atletico Madrid, it has confirmed this is going to be his last season with the current club. And Dan Bollon, the Spanish publication, currently had suggested out his future. He doesn't know where his future lies. It isn't fully guaranteed yet, but I think he'd be considering move now. Maybe Joe Blanc, who is Atletico Madrid's #1 goalkeeper. He could be going to Paris Saint-Germain, who are investing a lot of money in his transfer window. They're also on the verge of getting Mbappe as well, according to reports. And that could mean Griezmann could be currently the next out of the door. We all know that the player has got a £200 million release clause. We know Barcelona are interested in Griezmann. We know Juan Fran reported before he was happy at Atletico Madrid. He's looked happy in training. He's been training with Atletico Madrid and he's looked happy with Atletico Madrid. But apparently his next possible destination could be Manchester United. And we know, we were all aware before that we was very, very close and was on the brink of getting him, early on in the summer. Until the transfer ban occurred, he did say he estimated 6 out of 10 before of coming to United. But as his transfer ban had come up and it had occurred, I think he had that guilty conscience that Atletico Madrid couldn't find any alternative replacements. So he did stay with Atletico Madrid. He did sign a new contract back in June. Also did Antoine Griezmann. We know he's a player that's, I think he was at Real Sociedad 3 or 4 years. Went to Atletico Madrid. I think he has now been at Atletico Madrid 3 years, but he hasn't won any major. He hasn't won really any major honours, really, has he? Let's be honest. And I think it'd be good for him to come and experience the Premier League. Good for him to come and experience the Premier League. And I would love Antoine Griezmann. I think he'd operate fantastically well in that number 7 role. He'd be absolutely fantastic in that number 7 role because it's still vacant. We still suggest someone else. Another United player could get that number 7 role, but Griezmann would be the ideal player to get that number 7. Maybe if Mourinho's considering, activating his release clause, going for the player, going for him again, he may do, he may not do. He may be happy with the our attack at the moment for the time being. He may go for the player next summer. We know Barcelona have been interested, and apparently from Atletico Madrid's perspective, if Griezmann goes, they are going to look to try and get Mesut Ozil from Arsenal. And when Arsene Wenger has been convinced regarding these players that could be going, regarding Ozil, regarding Chamberlain, regarding Sanchez, he's basically confident they will see their deals out, including Sanchez, and then he will be available to go for free next summer, and that's including Sanchez. But from Arsenal's perspective, they don't want to lose the essential player, including Sanchez or Ozil or Chamberlain, but Arsene Wenger could benefit from this if he lets Sanchez go. If that right amount of money gets put on the table for Sanchez, then I would take it, because this is the only opportunity he'll get to cash in unless Alex Sanchez extends his contract next summer. If not, he will become a free transfer, so he has the chance to potentially cash in. But as I said, Arsenal have only got Lacazette at the moment in there, who's going to guarantee them 20-25 goals season, but Arsenal need more in there. As I said, but Griezmann, fantastic, good left-footed player, good in the air, good prolific goal scorer, good at shooting from long range, absolutely fantastic player. I'd love it. And a lot of French players are really, really good. They could come to the Premier League and tear the Premier League apart, as I said. But this is reported the Griezmann deal Griezmann could now be potentially back on. So whether Mourinho consider going for the player, I do not currently know about that. So we'll get into some about Sanchez now. Apparently with Sanchez, Arsenal, Wenger is still convinced. He still has faith that Sanchez is going to stay. We know he's been demanding a £400,000 a week contract with the club, which would make him the highest paid player in the Premier League. But we know he's been keen on reuniting with Pep Guardiola after they bonded fantastically well together at Barcelona, and this is what has been reported. Apparently City have tested Arsenal out there. Apparently well, allegedly have put a 44 million bid in. This has been rejected by Arsenal, but City have still got that long-standing interest in Sanchez, and they may be considering preparing to offer another bid. It did say they were going to offer £60 million and offering him a £400,000 a week deal, which Sanchez would be happy to do. But and we know with Sanchez last week, I think it was, he'd been caught in Luton Airport taking a private jet to Paris, went over to Paris, and he's been at Paris on about 3 times he's been over to Paris now. But as I said, Sanchez left his decision to Arsenal because he just basically quoted out he wants Champions League football, and he has won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons with Arsenal. But I think if Sanchez is going to leave now, I think he will go to Manchester City, and Manchester City will be prepared to offer 60 million for the player, even though he's coming an out to his contract. So Arsene Wenger has the opportunity now to cash in on the player. So we know he stood firm all the way, Wenger. He doesn't want to lose his essential players. I know he's had talks with Sanchez, blah, blah, blah. And he's still mistranslated everything that's been said. He has no faith in the media. And we know Sanchez is currently still injured at the moment, so he hasn't been participating in Arsenal's game. But apparently a 44 million bid has just been rejected for Alexis Sanchez from Manchester City, who've done good business. They've already spent over £200 million as well, so they may be looking to reunite together in that asset as well. And I've got some breaking news about Chamberlain. Apparently now, with Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think, yes, Chelsea have been in advanced talks with Arsenal over Oxlade-Chamberlain. Apparently, I think they put, between a 25 and 35 million bidding for the current player, Chamberlain. Apparently, Manchester United have entered the race now. A player that's been at Arsenal, I think, 3 years, ex-Southampton player, made 29 appearances last season. He's been playing as a left wing back recently. He's Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's been demanding a higher wage increase as well. I think he wants £150,000 a week salary. Arsenal are struggling to meet up with this. Whether Chamberlain does want to make the move, I do not know. But I think same with Arsene Wenger. He will stay. He's confident he will. He's the one coming to end of his contract, and Arsene Wenger's confident he will stay as well. Will Oxlade. Chamberlain is versatile, he's quick, he's good in the air, and he's another essential player for Arsenal, and he can also play as a converted right back as well. But apparently Manchester United are interested in signing Oxlade-Chamberlain from Arsenal, and Chelsea have been there, Liverpool have been in there, and so we'll see. Anyway, I've got some more breaking news now, which I not really mentioned on my videos. Is Virgil van Dijk from Southampton. Now we know for the entirety of the window, Liverpool have been heavily linked with a player. Chelsea have come in the equation as well to try and hijack it. Chelsea did admit they were prepared to pay over £50 million. Chelsea have got a spending spree of £260 million. They've already spent 120, 130, I think it is, on 3 players. And they're looking to spend another 120 and 130 million are Chelsea. But breaking news now about Virgil van Dijk is now, apparently we know he'd been training on his own, and about a week ago, I think it was, or just over, we knew it clarified that the player Virgil van Dijk had handed in a transfer request. Now, the chairman has come out and basically said he's not going to get sanctioned and the current player is not for sale. But Southampton have rated him as a 60 or 70 million pound player, Virgil van Dijk. Do you think he's worth 60 or 70 million pound, Virgil van Dijk? I really do not know. As I said before, I don't really know much about the player. But he was considering the move, was Virgil van Dijk. But Southampton potentially could benefit from this if you do think about it, because they only paid 12 million from him they paid 12 million from him from Celtic, and he won Scottish Premiership with Celtic, Scottish Cup with Celtic, and he did fantastically well at Celtic. He's won the Player of the Season with Southampton as well. But Liverpool had dropped their interest before, as Southampton claimed it was an illegal approach to go for the player. But anyway, that had come to a conclusion because apologies had been made. He is currently, I think he just recently signed a 5 or 6 year contract with the club as well as Virgil van Dijk. But in a way, Southampton could benefit from this. They could make a huge profit and sanction Virgil van Dijk off. As I said, they've rated him as a 60, 70 million pound player, as I do keep saying, guys. But we know he's been training on his own, and apparently now He has been, there's evidence around this as well. It has been suggested on an Instagram photo or something. He has been caught in London. He's been caught in London. I think it was today. It's been on an Instagram photo. And could that stir up suggestions that he could be potentially making a move to Chelsea? So Virgil van Dijk has been caught in London, and people have interpreted what they've seen on this. But from the Southampton perspective, and the chairman there came and said Virgil van Dijk is currently not for sale, and it looks like Liverpool are going to get him. You know, Chelsea have been in there for him because he is potentially a fantastic centre back. Is Virgil van Dijk. Yes, he is on a 5 to 6 year contract. Is Virgil van Dijk with Southampton, but Southampton know he's still an essential player for them. But they could actually benefit from this. They probably would get £60-70 million because we know Chelsea is still looking to add ranks into their team. And obviously, Chelsea also have just had another bid rejected for Alexis Sandro. I think it's Alexis Sandro, a player that still hasn't agreed a new contract with Juventus yet. I think he's been demanding £84,000 a week. A 51 million bid's been rejected. A 61 million bid's been rejected. Now, apparently, Chelsea have just had their third consecutive bid rejected, which is in the region of £73 million, has been rejected. And there we're looking to break the world defensive record fee and go ahead of Manchester City. But as I said, Juventus have lost Dani Alves, they've lost Bonucci, they've lost a couple of the key players, and they're still looking to address the midfield. Juventus, they are reluctant and are resisted to currently sell the player, because with Chelsea, we know Eden Hazard's just come back to training, and teams have been after him. Hazard's just come back to training. Fabregas suspended. Gary Cahill suspended. Bakayoko just recovering from injury, or just recovered from injury. You know, you've got Avram Morata who's there, but he said he feels unhappy at the club. So Chelsea is still looking at least to get another 2 or 3 players into their squad. And yes, apparently they've just had a bid rejected for the ex-Porto, for the ex-Santos player, Alexis Sandro. And that's been their main priority target for the entirety of the transfer windows as Chelsea. So that's what you've got to take into consideration. Anyway, from Liverpool's perspective, in my opinion, Liverpool need a number 10. They need, no, sorry, not a number 10. They need a number 9. I think they need a midfielder, and I think they need a couple of defenders as well if they're going to become an elite opposition. For me, they've got Salah, but for me, them offloading Coutinho would be beneficial. Then, with that money, I know Coutinho's one of their essential players, but with that money, Liverpool could potentially, they could get a striker, a new striker, and they could get someone at the back as well, and that's what potentially Liverpool need. They need at least 2 or 3 signings, at least 2. Liverpool, but you know, with regards of Philip Coutinho, now the Barcelona directors have come out and they have had a say in this matter, and that from their perspective, they are convinced and confident that Barcelona are on the verge of securing the deals of Coutinho and Ousmane Dembele as well. And we know Barcelona had been hammered yesterday by Real Madrid 5-1 as well, and I think it was said after the game, or it was said before the game. I think it was one or the other. But yes, the Barcelona directors are confident it will happen. Jurgen Klopp has also come in and he's basically said Barcelona are nowhere near on the brink of signing Philip Coutinho. And as we know, it was last week or sometime that Philip Coutinho had handed in a transfer request, basically, you know, that he wants to make the move to Barcelona. We know the agent of Coutinho, we know Coutinho's agent has been to Barcelona to try and get the deal finalised. We know Barcelona have come to England to try and get the deal finalised because it is basically their number 1 target. And as I said, the Liverpool owners are coming to the equation there. We said they were not willing to sanction the current player off. And this is what being currently said, they were not willing to sanction him off. And apparently, Coutinho's been unhappy with discussions. We know he's missed the Hoffenheim game. We know he had missed the Watford game because of his injury, and he's still currently injured, is Philip Coutinho. But he did notify the club director, Coutinho, with his desire to leave the club. But apparently from Liverpool's perspective, they are not willing to accept any bids at all from the Coutinho. And the saga and the speculation still continues around Coutinho. But I think it's trying to force the move. He does want to make the move. He's had discussions with Klopp and all that. and I think he just does want to make the move. And we know Barcelona have had a 72 and 89 bid rejected for the current player. So I don't know, it's still on the borderline, but the Barcelona director is still confident it will happen. It could end up coming to a conclusion in the end. More things may be discussed. It could end up coming to a conclusion, but we know he scored 14 goals last season and produced 7 assists. I think he'd be a long-term replacement for Iniesta. You know, now Barcelona have got the money for Neymar. They can put a staggering amount of money in for Coutinho, and I think, in a way, it would be beneficial for Liverpool. I know it's one of the most central players, one of the most creative players in world football, you know, and Liverpool would make a huge profit, but they didn't really pay much for him from Inter Milan, so they'd make a huge profit out of this, but it's still hard to find them potential replacements, as I always say. It's really hard, but the Barcelona directors are convinced that Coutinho will, that Barcelona are close to getting Coutinho and Ousmane Dembele. So Barcelona really want Philippe Coutinho. Philippe Coutinho does want to make the moves, as he said, on a regular basis, but Klopp is resisted and reluctant to currently sanction the player off. And Klopp's had discussions with him, and he knows, does Klopp, that he wants to leave. Klopp will not, Liverpool in general will just not allow Coutinho to go because they know how much of an important player he is, and Liverpool still need to strengthen up in this current transfer window, as I keep saying, guys. And with Ousmane Dembele, the Barcelona, as I said, director's confident Barcelona will secure a deal for him. Suggestions have stirred up yesterday. Basically, Ousmane Dembele is trying to force the move anywhere, because he's packed his badge yesterday into his car. He's trying to force the move. We know he's on a 4-year contract with Borussia Dortmund in his debut season. He got purchased for £15 million from Rennes, but also, I know it's one of their most central players. He's still on a young Borussia Dortmund, but they're going to gain an absolute profit out of this as well, so they can take that into perspective, but it's still bad losing your essential players, but Borussia Dortmund can find replacements. Borussia Dortmund have still got a good team. They've got a Aubameyang in there and all that, so they've still got a good team in there, Borussia Dortmund. So, yeah, but with Ousmane Dembele, as I said, he's been suspended from training as Ousmane Dembele. He's been suspended for training. Suspended from training. Sorry, got my words mixed up there. We know he's a good 2-footed player. We know he's good in the air. We know he's quick. He's going to be in the top 2 or top 3 when Ronaldo and Messi retire, as I keep saying. But yes, we know Barcelona have been interacting, and there have been discussions with Borussia Dortmund over the potential deal. And we know basically the Barcelona representative were there to put a significant bid in. From Borussia Dortmund's perspective, they wasn't satisfied with the bid that had been currently put out, so this had been currently rejected by Borussia Dortmund. They wasn't satisfied with the bid, but as I keep saying, initially a fee has been agreed in the region of 90 million, but apparently I think things may be still discussed and negotiated over these over these bonuses, over these bonus add-ons involved in a deal that has potentially been recommended by Borussia Dortmund. But they're always going to be offered to a team like Barcelona. These add-ons are for the player's performances, probably how many games he plays and how many goals he scores and stuff like that. So apparently in the region of there's 30 million add-ons involved in this as well. So they're still convinced it will happen, and that will take their tally, Barcelona's, if they are to get Coutinho and Dembele. It'd probably cost them nearly £200 million altogether if you do calculate it correctly. And that's what it basically will add up to in the region. It will add up to that. Anything else to update on today? Let's have a think, guys. Yes, I'm going to update you on Thomas Lemar as well. And we know for the entirety of the transfer window with Thomas Lemar, Arsenal have tried getting him. Arsenal have had now 2 or 3 bids rejected. There has been negotiations going on between the two clubs, but now Mbappe is set to be on the way to Paris Saint-Germain, who I said are investing a lot of money in this transfer window. A ridiculous amount of money, you know. Mbappe, you know, potentially the report said it could actually add up to more than the Neymar deal, you know, including the instalments and the bonuses and the extras and stuff like that. He's only a young lad, and he could say if Rashford had a good season like Mbappe, or any Martial had a fantastic season like Mbappe, we wouldn't set a price tag out for 160 million in the region. You know, it's just a ridiculous amount of money for a player. That's like, yes, he's one of the highest prospects in world football. He is still only young. He did fantastic Monaco last season, but it's a ridiculous amount of money. And if it does potentially come to add up to more than Neymar, that is even more ridiculous, because we know that Neymar's more highly experienced. He is 25 years of age, but I think all the money is ridiculous in football, full stop. So now Mbappe did say he does want to make the move. He's on the verge of joining Paris Saint-Germain. Now, that could mean Neymar is staying with Monaco, but Arsenal have tried getting him on the board, but apparently Manchester United have entered the race. They are willing to hijack Thomas Lemar. We know Liverpool have been in there before. We know a few teams he's attracted the interest of as Lemar. He scored 14 goals and 14 assists last season, did Lemar. He is good in the air, he's quick, he is good on the ball, he is good at driving forward, but apparently we are currently in there now for Thomas Lemar. But this is what I just currently heard, so is there anything else to update you on today? Anything else? Yes, as I did say, what I mentioned earlier on was apparently about Arjen Robben, as I did discuss with you this morning. Manchester United have not put a full-on approach for the player. They haven't tried to interact with Bayern Munich over getting a potential deal done for Arjen Robben. But apparently there's been discussions that Manchester United have showed their interest in Arjen Robben, the current 33-year-old. Who's very, very good, because he's a versatile player. A lot of players are versatile. He can play on the left wing, he can play on the right wing, you know. He's got tremendous speed, he's good in the air, he's good at putting balls into the box. His dribbling skills, as I said, his crossing ability is absolutely phenomenal. Him and Gareth Bale, though, you know, Gareth Bale, I aren't disregarding it, as I said, with Bale, but it's very, very unlikely that Bale is going to happen. People still believe it could potentially happen, but I've given up, especially now that Ronaldo's got that 5-match ban. Mourinho had disregarded it and ended the pursuit of Gareth Bale. But comparing Bale and Arjen Robben, with Bale, if we were to get Bale, we'd get more years out of Bale, obviously, because I think he's 4 or 5 years younger. Bale is 28. And plus, Arjen Robben is injury prone as well. He's an injury prone player, is Robben. So too is Gareth Bale. He's an injury prone player as well. But who do you think potentially is the better footballer out of Bale and Arjen Robben? Who would you prefer? Me, the age doesn't really matter to me. We would get a couple of years out of Arjen Robben if he was to come, but we'd get more years out of Bale if he was to come. So potentially, I'm not quite sure. It's really hard to predict who's the better footballer out of Robben and Gareth Bale, because we know they've been injury prone. But as I did say to you earlier, Arjen Robben had scored 13 goals last season in 26 appearances. I think that was just in the Bundesliga. And he created 49 chances, did this player. We know Arjen Robben is a player that he's like Bale, though, because Bale can play on the left, Bale can play on the right. But with Arjen Robben, I said he's been at PSV before in the past. He's won the title with PSV. He'd been with them a couple of years. Went to Chelsea. Did fantastically well at Chelsea, and has worked with Mourinho in the past. Had a good bond with Mourinho. He's obviously won the Netherlands Young Player of the Year as Arjen Robben. He's won the Young Player of the Year as Arjen Robben, and at Chelsea, during his couple of years at Chelsea, he won 2 Premier Leagues, FA Cup and 2 League Cups, and also won the Premier League Player of the Month as well during his time at Chelsea. Went off to Real Madrid as well, won the La Liga with Real Madrid, and I think won something else with Madrid. And then Bayern Munich had bought him for £25 million, I think, from Real Madrid. And he's been at Bayern Munich now nearly a decade. But he is a very, very good footballer. He'd be a player that would dramatically improve us on that left-hand side of the pitch, would Arjen Robben. But as I said, he hasn't made an initial approach as Mourinho, but they may look to reunite together, because we are crying out for that winger on the current left-hand side. We are really crying out for that winner. So that's what I'm going to be saying to you guys. As I did say regarding Ivan Perisic, as I did say, apparently the agent is due, or he might have done now, I haven't really looked into it. The agent of Perisic is due to be having discussions with Inter Milan regarding Ivan Perisic's future, but apparently now he is on the verge of signing a new deal with the club. He has got a contract at Inter Milan to 2020. So, from my perspective, guys, I think this could be now unlikely that we could land Ivan Perisic. We know for the entirety of the window we've been interested. We've had 3 bids rejected now for the current player. So we are disappointed in that asset, having 2 or 3 bids rejected for Perisic. You know, he's creative, he's highly experienced. As I said, he's 28, so we'd still get years out of him. He's good at putting balls into the box, as I said, as well. Good physical attributes. He produced 11 goals, 12 assists last season for Inter Milan, even though they had a lacklustre campaign. But Luis Spelt has come out and basically said he is convinced, and he did suggest that Ivan Perisic does want to stay at the club. He has been trying to force the move a couple of times as Perisic, and we know the agent has had discussions with Ed Woodward, and we did make it clear that Manchester United are not willing to offer Martial as a currently part of the deal. And we know not only us, Chelsea have been interested in Perisic. And Perisic is good because he's another versatile. He can play as attacking mid, he can play as a second striker, and he can play on the wing as well. So that's very, very beneficial as well. He's got good electrifying pace as Perisic, but I think Perisic now basically could be over from Luis Spelter's point of view. He's on the brink of signing a new deal with Inter Milan, so it could be now essentially over. It could be now initially over, should I say. So yeah, guys, that's everything to update today. I think I've got a lot of the transfer was there, but I might have missed a few things out. I am going to go have a look at now to see what's going on, and I will be updating you guys on that. Anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below my channel. As I keep saying, subscribe to the channel, as always, and take it easy, guys, and I'll see you all later. Bye.